Hey, Dreamers. It is time to do a new episode, a new creation that I am going to build today. And okay, so before I'm going to start, I want to know that there's a bit of an intro. So if you don't want to listen to this, just skip ahead. I will make chapters in my videos always. So if you don't want to listen to this, I would recommend you to still to listen to this because I am maybe going to provide some crucial information that you're not getting get confused after. So yeah, I it's been a while that I have done a video like this on my YouTube channel, and I was like, well, it's almost Halloween, it's October, so I was like, let's create something Halloweenish. Um, and I want to go a little bit out of my comfort zone with this one. And what I mean is, I want to be a little bit more of one scene. I'm not going to that you can walk around in it, because that takes so much time for me to, because then I have to do a lot of surrounding creations. And well, if you already have seen my previous creation that I've released in August and September, with the Once Upon a Time 2 creation. If you have not seen that one, you should check that one out. It's on Dreams. You can play it for free, obviously. And but that was where you could also walk around in the whole scene, or partial in the scene. So yeah, that takes a little bit more time because you have to think of all the surroundings to build for you. And so this is only 1 month, and Once Upon a Time 2, I have been crafted that for quite some time, several months actually. And I think I don't know when I started that creation. I think it was in February, I don't know. And I only have 1 month for this creation. So or actually less than 1 month. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one scene. I will maybe do some mood camera angles here and there that you can swap around in it. I have to see, or I will just do one particular shot that I think that's beautiful, and then you can watch it. So just one scene that sets the mood for Halloween. That's my idea of this one. So that's what we're going to do in this video. I am not sure if I will do multiple creations, multiple creation videos after this. I know that the most watched videos are always or my most watched videos are my tutorials, but there's not really much of the tutorials needed anymore because Dreams is basically stopped with live supporting, so we're not getting any new updates. So there's not really new for me to do tutorials, but I can still do, of course, doing sculpting videos, and sculpting videos is my second best watched videos, and for my standards at least. Uh, and so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to try to do as much as possible in this series. So I'm going to start in this video with sculpting, and I'm probably not going to do the full creation being shown. And the reason why that is because I work a lot faster if I'm just working without recording, because yeah, I don't know what it is, but every time when I'm record something, it always takes 10 times longer for me than if I'm not recording it, so that I'm always can fully focus on sculpting. And with YouTube videos with this, I always try to explain what I'm doing, and yeah, and I cannot do two things at the same time. So that's what I'm going to do. So bear in mind that these videos will probably going to have some skip parts here and there. So this is the first episode. I will build everything from the ground up, from the scratch. I'm not going to use any community assets this time. I did that with Once Upon a Time 2. That only was to save me a lot of time, actually. Otherwise, it would have taken me a few years to finish the creation, maybe. But this time, I'm going to build from the ground up. I want to make something for Halloween, and I have not really done something like this before. The reason why is because in the previous years, Media Molecule always had Halloween events. And I always try to participate in those with Once Upon a Time Forest, or not Once Upon a Forest, the All Hallow Dreams Forest. The train, Ghost Train ride, we had that one before, the year before. I skipped only one Halloween event because I didn't have time back then. That was like 2 or 3 years ago, I think 3 years ago. But most of the time I always like I did those events, and that was already like time consuming for me. And yeah, well, so um with that said, is that like this year, now that they don't do all these events anymore, the community did like the Gamescom event, of course, which I also took part of it. Not as much as I wanted to, sadly, but I sculpted a few stuff for Dreamscom this year. But not as much as I really wanted to. I had sadly had no time. I wanted to, but I was like, ooh, I should have known that maybe I was volunteering for it, and then I sculpted something for it, and I was like, okay, I don't have much time. So yeah, that's that. But I know it's like with a long intro already, but I kind of want to like set this already because like yeah, it's important to share this information because you know why I'm going to do stuff like this. So without further ado, like I said, we are going to build everything from the ground up. I have some ideas in mind what I wanted to create in Dreams this time for Halloween. So it's going to be very simple scene. And by simple scene, I mean like the aesthetic is going to be it's going to be simple, but it's going to be like set in certain mood on it. And what I mean is that just because like it's a one shot thing, like one like, angle, one camera shot creation, maybe a multiple one, I don't know yet, but I have to see. But basically it's just like one scene. I'm not going to do a full surrounding, so it's only going to be in the front view. And I have something in mind. So what you're going to expect, I could maybe change the idea along the way I'm doing this. But my idea is I want to have like an creepy castle in the distance. Like or not a castle, but like a mansion, maybe like a mansion in the distance. And then I want to have like a gateway in the front. But the gateway is like it's open and like it's old. And I want to have some pumpkins here in the front, and then some trees on the sides of the scene. So you get a really nice depth of field, and maybe we'll have some moon and other stuff going on. I'm trying to break a little bit with my own identity style of creating. So what I'm going to do is I want to make it a little bit more playfulish. So that's going to be super challenging for me because like, I've never done something like this. So, so because like, you always have like a certain art style in your way of creating, sculpting things, and it's really hard to lose that. It's really hard if you have like a certain signature in your own in your own style, which a lot of artists have that. Like a lot of artists have a certain signature in the way of doing with the lighting, the sculpts, and stuff like that. So I kind of want to try to break a little bit with that, but still put my signature in it. That like, hey, this is of course made by Jacta, but I also want to break a little bit of the style that I have normally done. So I'm going to be a little bit more playful with the creation itself. And what I mean with that, you're probably going to see hopefully in this video and otherwise in that future videos ahead. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to chop these into parts because like if I'm going to record this all ahead, yeah, I don't think so. I think I'm going to do a few videos and then like hopefully release the end version around Halloween time. That's my goal. It's gonna be a challenge because there's only 1 month. So all right. So I also have to like say something else is that like sorry that I'm like still in the intro. But what I'm going to say is that this is the very first time, the actually very, very, very first time I'm sculpting on the PlayStation 5. before, when I was like doing Once Upon a Time 2, it was all still created on the PlayStation 4 from the basically from the ground up, but then from community assets and here and there from my own assets. But um and I only did the final stages, like the last part basically, and it was only like the UI design and the main menu design I did on the PlayStation 5 because then I had the PlayStation 5 at that point, and then I could test out both systems if they were running great on PlayStation 4 and if they were running great on PlayStation 5. I can still do that, so I'm going to create the scene. I know that the PlayStation 5 can handle a little bit more of like sculptures, like graphics than the PlayStation 4 version, and I have the PlayStation 4 base. So what I'm going to do, and I really have to want to say this, I am going to test them both out. So I'm going to create on my PlayStation 5, which is a lot smoother to do so. At least this is the first time I'm doing it, by the way, but I don't know, but it feels a lot smoother. And once I'm done, I'm going to look how it looks on the PlayStation 4. Now it is not a part where you can walk around in it, so I don't have to worry much about performance. I only have to worry about, can it still be loaded into like normally on the PlayStation 4? Is the loading time not going to be super long? Now the scene is not going to be super heavy with details, so I think we should be fine. But I wanted to say this regardless. All right, so without further ado, let's start. Now we're actually going to start. I don't really know where we're going to start first. I'm thinking of like put some like placements first. So like placeholders basically. So I'm just going to place let's pick a color. Let's say, well, the sake for Halloween, let's do orange. It is not really nice orange. That's orange. So for the sake of like Halloween, we're going to place some placeholders. So did you know a little bit of like what I'm trying to do? So here we have that mansion basically, like with I'm just going to do like super like something like this. So mention, right? And then we have here then the gateway. So I'm not really sure, like the mention should be a lot bigger. So like it's the mention is like all the way over here, maybe a little bit like standing over there. And then here we have and let me do it like this. There we go. I know that this will rise up some oh, some graphics memory, but it's fine. I'm going to delete all this later on anyway. So it doesn't have to be so precise. So this is like one of the gates and one over there. And like I said, I'm going to be a little bit more playful, and then we can do the ground again as well. Let me do that with I'm get every time. I wish that like they remember the last color that you were using. I cannot ask Minimalq anymore for changing that because we're not getting any more updates. So that's sad. Well, we get maybe a new CEO. So maybe the new CEO is like, hey, Dreams is actually pretty cool. Minimalq should work on it again. Who knows, right? Okay, this is maybe not so smart what I'm doing here. One sec. I'm going to do different. It doesn't have to be so precise. I just want to show you a little bit of like the scene that I want to create. So use your imagination for this. I can do it like a lot bigger. It doesn't matter. This, there we go. And that's the mention type of thing. That should be like this. So this is like the gateway. Like did I? Oh, whoops. Accidentally group them together. Was not my intention. Okay, so the gateway is like around here, I would say. And let me put this so. And so that's like the gateway. And then here we're going to have um, like the spike railing things or whatever it's called. Like so, on the other side as well. To give you a little bit of like an idea of, and like I said, a little bit playful, right? So we're not going to make our creations super straight. We're not going to follow much of like the, we're not going to follow much of like the, like how it looks in real life, where everything is like super perfect, and we're not going to follow any grids. Maybe with the building a little bit. I'm probably going to do the building with a little bit of an on grid style, and then later on, I'm going to tweak it so like it looks all crooked. And then some lights, I would say. So let's use a cylinder for this. Changing the color again. So we have some lights going on here. Like, whoop. So these are like lights, posts, or whatever you want to call them. Here one, and maybe there's one over here as well. A little bit crooked. Want to make it creepy, but not too creepy. You know, like I want to make it like it's so that like that's maybe it's a little bit too far. I kind of want to like put maybe like so here, and then last, well not last, but and then we need some trees, right? I'm just going to use this for real quickly to give you a little bit of like a tree looking feel. And oh, there you go. Looks a little bit more like spine right now, but go. Jump into the scene. So, and here there should be a tree. A big tree. We're going to make a big tree here. And then like it's of course like with creepy branches like going to the play like over the place. So what is basically what's happening is that like um the trees are um like covers like it's like it's almost like you're going from a forest, a creepy forest, and you see that creepy mansion in the distance. That's what I want to go for. So so the trees should be then like a little bit closer to the scene still. There you go. Like like this. So the camera should be going around this place. So you see that entrance, you see the trees going, the gateway with that creepy stuff, and then some lights, lantern, and then in the front, I want to do some pumpkins, basically. So like this, that's my pumpkin for now. Orange. So a big one here, and then maybe a small one over there, and then oh, I did it in the same there, and then one over here, like at the tree. So I think that's like, I hope you can use your imagination. Like it looks like nothing right now, but like this is basically what I have in mind, and I'm probably going to like do some like backdrop view. So we're going to level a little bit of like the world around it. So with some trees in the distance still, maybe here the moon or over there, maybe some creepy buildings over here still. Probably going to replace the manor a little bit further away, something like that. So this is basically what I have in mind. So now that you know what my thinking is, let's start sculpting. So these are all the um the placeholders. I'm going to freeze them for now, so I cannot touch them. Wait, I can still touch them. I thought I froze them. Oh, there we go. I thought I already did that. There you go. So now you can like now touch them. So now that you know a little bit of like my aesthetics are working, or like how I have this vision in my head, um, now we can actually sculpt. So I'm first going to start with I hopefully the most easiest thing to do, and that is the gate itself. So we're going to make these pillars. So what I'm going to do, um, we're going to use a square. I'm going to paint later on, so that's fine. And like I said, we're not going to work super precisely on this one. So I'm not really sure if this is going to be super smart. Maybe I can start with grid first, and then later on I'm going to make them really crooked and stuff like that. Because like if I'm not working with grid in the beginning, I also have to paint everything, and I in mirror mode. So if we're going to use a mirror mode, then I know that like at least that we have like on both sides the right way to do that. So I think I'm going to start with the mirror mode. Sorry, not with the mirror mode, but like with on grid side. And then later on, we're going to make them really crooked. This is also for me already in test for another project that I'm going to work on in Dreams. So yes, there will be more projects coming in Dreams from me, from my hand. Just smaller projects. I'm not going to do games anymore. I was working on one, but considering that Dreams is not what it was anymore, um, or like what they promised for us to do, I have to think of like new ways of doing stuff. So I'm still of Dreams, and I will not going anywhere. So I'm just going to do smaller projects still. And like Once Upon a Time 2 was a side project that I wanted to make, because I got inspired by D&D sessions that I've been watching. And also I wanted to do like a new Once Upon a Time because it was already 4 years ago that I did the first one. And also is that like with doing smaller projects, I can release a lot more stuff in Dreams so people can enjoy that stuff. And it's also basically building up my portfolio as well for personal use. So it's a win-win for everybody, I would say. So yeah, so that's my content's going to be a lot more smaller projects, which is one of these, for example. And um so yeah, so this is like for me a good learning for what I wanted to do for another project. I don't want to say it yet. I don't want to like still surprise. I can maybe tease a little bit of like what I have in mind. But I don't want to spoil too much. But it's something that I really wanted to do for a very long time, created something that I really wanted to do for a very long time. And I am a fan of a certain artist. And no, I'm not going to like recreate this artist way of doing, but I'm inspired by this artist. The artist is not alive anymore. He is already passed away. Sadly, but the artist has basically during my youth um got some impact, and the way that how he saw and was drawing the worlds that he made, it was so unique, and it was refreshing. It was something you have not really seen before, and for that particular reason, a lot of people you can still watch his creations actually put to life in into a theme park. And I'm spoiling way too much already, but there is a theme park that has a lot of his creations made in real life, and a lot of people around the world coming to that theme park because of this unique experience of how the attractions are looking, or like he did not like do everything. Not everything in the park is from him, but there's like one section that is from him, and you can definitely tell that it has a little bit of like, oh, I really want to say already, but I don't want to. I'm going to shut up because I can think I'm spoiling way too much already. If you're like living where I'm living, and if you know exactly what I'm talking about right now, then then you're probably all right. So then you probably know that this is going to be what I have in mind. So if you know the answer, let me know in the comments if you can guess it, if you know what I'm talking about. And but yeah, it's something that I really wanted to. But I'm not. This is why I cannot like do talking and sculpting at the same time, because like I think I kind of want to make everything in like one sculpt, but I think I already have to make them crooked a little bit from now on. Also, the size is maybe. Let me see. Um, Let me put a puppet into the scene. And 2 times bigger because it isn't child, the normal puppet. Yeah, so um the gate should be the height of like, oh, like this here. That means that the whole building is bigger as well. Yeah. And then put this down. Zoop. A bit more playful room in the bottom. So that should be the height that I want to go for. So that like, yeah, is the thing thick enough? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry that I'm like rambling a little bit, but I can put it away again. So the what I want to do is I only want to make it crooked, because like if I'm not doing that right away, I will have a harder time later on into the scene. So like I said, this is, I don't even know. Yeah. This is probably going to be super hard. Well, not super hard, but challenging for me, actually. Maybe I should have done the poll already first. There we go. Oh, like the post, I mean. I like it a little bit bigger. Then so to give you a little bit of an idea that that like it's not going to be super straight. Like it's and I'm going to do that all the way around the whole thing. And we're probably also going to make it like it looks like a little bit like off, like it's standing a little bit like off the position. So that's what we're going to do as well. And this is like a very good learning curve for me for my actually bigger project that's after this one. Not decide yet if I'm going to do it on stream. I think maybe people want to see it me doing live on stream as well. I haven't really been able to. Yeah, I thought this was going to happen already. I should have done. Yeah, I can maybe do it like very softly and slowly. Um, I know that people want to see maybe me doing this on live on stream, so you can watch me creating something like this. The only thing that um the only thing that I'm like thinking of is that like if I stream it, it's going to be super slow. because I cannot always stream. I do not always have the time to stream, sadly. And if you're watching my streams, and you know, so yeah, that's going to be it's going to be a challenge, that's for sure. I think because it's a really big project that I'm going to work on after this one, side project, if you can call it big enough as a side project, because it's still a side project, um, but um, yeah, I have to think if I'm going to do this on stream or not. I do not know. I really do not know. But now you have a little bit of an idea. Like, you can already see that like it's shaping already a little bit. And we're going to do that with all the sides. So we're not going to miss any other side as well. And we only have to make one, because we can clone this to the other side. And we only have to turn it around a little so it doesn't look like the same. And since we are shaping this manually in every corners, so I can easily like swap it a little bit around. There you go. So this is the same style, well, almost the same style that I'm going to do my bigger project with. So like I said, it's a really good learning curve for me to if I want to go for the bigger project one. And it really looks almost, I'm like in the same style that I'm going to create this. So see it as a little bit of like a sneak peek of what you can expect from my other project that I have in mind to do. And I cannot wait to share it with all of you. It's going to be super fun. I'm pretty sure it's going to be super fun. Because it's an fun style to make, but it's also very challenging. And I still want to make it my own. Like what I do is that, of course, I put my own like style, like the Jekta signature, basically, but a little bit with the inspiration of what I have seen and what I want to create. I think it's pretty much done in its base form, I would say. I'm trying to... Yeah, it's pretty much done. Kind of like that's like it's not so super straight anymore. So it's like it's basically like you're like having clay and you're like you're swap it around. Maybe I have to change this side a little bit better. Let me like this so I can reach it a little bit better. Like so. And yeah, it is time consuming, absolutely. But hopefully the end result is going to be super great. I hope so. All right. We're doing that basically on all the sides as well. And like I said, we only have to make one of these things and then we can just like clone it on the other side. Sound like boss. Like, there we go. Sounding like Bob Ross. And there we go. Nice and steady. Just like that. Okay, so I really wanted to use my move controllers again, but I bought that adapter so you can use your move controllers for the PlayStation 5. And one of my move controls is not working properly. So I'm not sure if it's because of the adapter that's like not picking up, or it's because like Dreams is not really like, of course, like PlayStation 5 supported well. So let me know in the comments if you also have issues or if it's just my move controls maybe are broken. I don't know. Could be both. Oh, I see that I'm hitting this too. Yeah, we should not put too much in here. What is it? This one. Like I want to keep the softness around the edges, but I don't want to touch the underneath part basically, because that looks weird. And imagine that we also have to paint everything. I will paint probably later on. I will first want to do the sculpture of everything. So yeah, so the base is done. Now we have to build further. We're not completely done. So let me use we can use precise move for this. So I'm just going to put this here like so. And then we're going to use that same technique that we did before. Like so. Maybe like I said, it's a trial and error. And the reason why I want to do it in one scope is to save me. It's because like I'm being used to do it everything on PlayStation 4. So I learned this way to do it because like it will save you a lot of um like gameplay turmoil. But even though PlayStation 5 doesn't really care much for gameplay turmoil, but because you have a little bit more wiggly room on the PlayStation 5. But I still have in my head the way of how I did that with the PlayStation 4. That everything needs to be as much as possible in one sculpt. So I can like change that, or like I can like put more stuff into the scene as well. And maybe I will make it remixable at some point, that people maybe can use these assets as well at some point, if you want that, of course. That will be. I'm thinking maybe I should not do it already. Maybe I should just oh, do it like so, and then we're going to cut that out. Also, I kind what maybe it's also nice if it goes a little bit like into like a triangle form. So it goes a little bit like this here. So like it's not straight, but like it's a little bit like going on all these sides. I think that would be pretty cool as well. I have to see, of course, if I wanted that, but I can definitely think of doing it. Let me stretch this a little bit more out. I'm gonna work a little bit faster with this. Already spending way too much on the pillar. There we go. And we don't even have all the details yet on it. We need to have some cracks in, and painting needs to be done. So much do we need to do still. So much. But I also have to look at the time, as I only have a month, less than a month, to finish all of this. And like I said, probably not going to do everything recorded. But I want to do as much as possible for you guys so you can still see how I sculpt and how I shape things and how I do things. Although there's already a lot of videos out there how I sculpt, so you can already if you are curious how I do everything, you can check all my videos out. They're still there. They're basically timeless as long dreams still exist. So they basically are timeless. But then you know a little bit of like how I sculpt and what my techniques are and so like that. Um so that's the middle part. I also want to have some like what I've here, like some balls maybe, or like orbs. Or I can also do like a creature on it. But like a gargoyle or something like that, but I don't know. It's probably going to be uh like I can sculpt and I can sculpt like dragons and stuff like that, but I've never really created a gargoyle before, so maybe. But I'm not going to do that in one skill because then it's going to be super complex. So the gargoyle, if I'm going to do a gargoyle version, I probably like do that in a separate skill because that's a little bit too complex. But the base one, I want to keep it everything in one skill as possible. And that's like a challenge because like you're already going to see right now is that everything, because of everything is like in one skill, everything is connected, right? So you have to be very careful of what you're going to hit first. And it's that's only the downside of everything in one skill. But the, the best part is that you don't have to worry about like this is just like one skill already. I am thinking right now. What if we clone this one again, and then till I would say till here, maybe a little more up till around here, maybe. And if you don't know what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this down like so, but we're not going to let it stay like this. We're going to make it that it goes in triangle form. And maybe put um mm, see, put this more down. This yeah. I don't know how heavy the sculpt is right now. I mean, what I can do real quickly is unfreeze these, delete this. How much is this? 6%. That's way too much. That's way too much. 2%. Can I make 1%? There you go. And we still have like you have to look at from afar, right? We're not going to zoom in on all these objects. So from afar, this is still looks okay, and it's now just 1%. Yeah, I'm not going to bring down or bring back the thing again because like I already know a little bit of like what I want to my scene with. um, yeah, how am I going to do this? Because my idea is basically this. I hope I can do it in this way. Um, how much degrees did I do the other one? Oh, God damn it. I would say 30% of angle. And then, oh, and then on the other side as well. 30% angle. Like so. And is it going to work like this? What I have in mind. Or pa, 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 da, 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 da. don't think there's an other way for this. No, what I'm going to do, I have a better way. I have a lot better way. I have a better way. Yeah, that's not going to work, of course. Do grid. I have a better way. We're going to make. Let me see. How much did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it looks weird right now, but I'm going to do something. This is I did this like this before. I think is this, and then I'll blend it a little bit. I hope this is going to work, guys. A little bit like a harder shape to do. We don't have to be super precise because, like I said, we're going to make everything crooked. So you don't have to be super precise about this. Like so. Like so. I see that this is happening. But that's because like I can make it smaller. But I'm also going to like do, it's a lot of try and error for me, like really. And there's probably maybe an easier way to make a shape like this that I am not thinking of right now. And you're probably going to me already tell me in the comment like, Jackson, you can also do it like this. And I'm like, oh damn, you were right. Oh, I cannot, of course. We're getting there, and keep in mind that we're also going to make this like extending to this whole thing. So yeah, and then on this side as well. Let me remove that one. Oh. Like so. Yeah, it's not perfect. Absolutely not perfect. Like it doesn't have to be so. And of course, this one needs to. And oh, this looks so weird. Kind of wish I had music. Oh my god! Normally I always have music on in the background, but I don't have. I don't have music. At least not on this particular one. Can do it like this. There you go. Now you have music. A little bit. Oh, where's my desktop audio on? Desktop off. There you go. So. I think we need to go a little bit more down with all this. Pretty slowly but surely remaking the shape that I want to go for. That's more like it. That's absolutely more like it. So what I'm now going to do, because it's not done, obviously, I may be considering to... I need to have my puppet back. Because... 1, 2... Wait, I need my grid snap for this. There you go. That should be adult size. Yeah, because like it should, the gate should be around here. Okay. Like the gate is not going to be like super big, but something like the line of this. And now what we only have to do is make it so that like it goes a little bit of like in and then goes back out to the socket. So that's the plan that I want to go for. We're going for the cone and do a little bit of like sub-blending again, not too crazy much. And this is going to be super challenge for me because we have to make it so that like it's... I'm starting a little bit with like the base baseline, like so. And we have to do it on the other side. I could have maybe used... No. I was like, I could maybe use a mirror mode, but let's not do that with this creation. Like normally, if you want to like do something really quickly, like I would advise mirror moding for this. So just like do mirror moding and then shape it. But the reason why I'm not doing this is because like then everything is going to look exactly the same on the other side. Or like the intent to do it. And I don't want that. I want to make it look weird and unique, you know, like it's like handcrafted, unique. But normally I would advise to do it otherwise. And oh, this is going to be super interesting how I'm going to do this. But it's a good learning curve for me for my upcoming project anyway. That doesn't look so good at all. Maybe I should pull this a little bit more to the side so I have a little bit more room to do stuff like this. Which one is still... Yeah. Let me reshape this. There's probably an easier way for me right now. But if it works, right? It's still not how I want it. Like it's still not how I have it visioned. Look how many times already I'm working on just one pillar. That's the way I was sculpt, guys. Sorry, I'm a slow sculptor. Why can't I pick the... Oh, I'm also, of course, extending that one. Right. I was not thinking about that. Okay, new plan. New plan, new plan, new plan, new plan, new plan. I have a new plan. We're going to bring this one down. If I can do it in a proper way. Uh-oh. Let me do it with grid. That's the wrong one. I need, yeah. I need this. There you go. And then we need to go back. And the point where it was. There we go. New plan. I'm going to cut it in half. Not in the same sculpt still, but yeah, otherwise I would also touch this one, and we don't want that. So that's basically what I want to do. And then we're going to get this one again. And what we can do now is we can stretch this out like so. All sides. Just like that. And now we can shape it again. It's a lot easier if you do it like in not one sculpt. Like if it if this was like multiple sculpts, I would have been already done right now. But just because like I'm working in like an one sculpt situation, it's a lot more challenging for me to get where I want to. Because you also have like to deal with. I probably always thinking, but Jekta, maybe you should just like do multiple sculpts, so it's easier. And I'm like, yeah. But what if I'm going to release this creation eventually for people to use? And some people maybe still have a PlayStation 4 base, right? So, and then they don't have enough room for gameplay turmoil. And then they were probably like, oh, thank God, Jekta made a creation that's just one made out of one sculpt. So I can still place this creation in my creation. That's why. So I'm always trying to think ahead of like how people want to use this. If I'm going to release this eventually. I probably will. At some point. I probably will. Still looks weird, but that's because I did that. I don't want to make it too soft on the sides, but still enough that you can still see the edges of the corners. Maybe too much. Okay. Now what I can try to do, oh, not this, is to pull them back in a little bit. If I can get it. If I can get the one that I want. Also, it needs to be a little bit more up. That. What? Almost. Like, the good thing about this is that I don't have to worry about too much of like how it overall looks, because like we only have to worry about, okay, it's maybe still still not great, trust me, but it's getting somewhere. I maybe have to figure out a way to do it in a better way, but like if I'm going to do my next project, which is basically in the same style that I'm doing right now here. Yeah, I'm aware that I am stretching this out. I have another idea. What if we just use this instead and shape our way into it? So is this going to work? Is that maybe a way to do it? Like doing it like this. It's definitely a way to do it. I'm thinking way too hard on sometimes on stuff. Yeah, this is the way. This is the way to do it. Yeah, and then we all need to make sure it's as goes, it's smooth. Then we can shape it again later on. So yeah, this is like like a learning curve for me. If I'm like working on my bigger project. Okay, so now we it's not great. You can go away, by the way. It's not great, but it's definitely an improvement. Of what I had before. And then we need to shape it again. How is my thermo doing right now? I need to keep an eye on this. 2%. There we go, 1%. I have to keep it 1%. 2% is way too much for just a pillar. Okay, now understand why I'm probably not going to record everything. Because it takes me a lot of time to get where I want. Oh. Like the more you're modifying on this sculpture, the more graphics thermo is rising up, of course. Also, you have to still do the bottom. Oh, right, that's what we need to do. Need to make this a lot smaller. And shape this in a block that I want to have it look like. Do, 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 do. Like so. Gonna wait to paint this eventually, because then it will make so much more sense with everything. Okay, I'm just going to blend in here a few stuff. Although oh. It's only like this side looks a little bit wonky. Maybe that was too much there, but I did. There you go. Only this sides. I have to make it better again. Yeah, I think if I'm going to do the other projects, I think what we have to do is work in layers. So if I want to like make a house or something particular like this, I have to work in like layers. If I want to keep it in one sculpt, I have to work in layers for this. Also, the structure is way different than under here, and that's because like we added this stuff here. So just going to do the same. We get the same structure. Everywhere. We're getting there. We're getting there. We absolutely getting somewhere. There we go. I think only here. A little bit more. Could be maybe a little bit too much here. There we go. I think I'm pretty much done for this. And then we don't even have all the cracks and stuff like that. Still 1%, so that's good. Now I'm thinking, should I do the ball like the orb in the same sculpt or not? That's the biggest question that I have right now. Let me see how this goes. How is this? How it's going? Let me do first with grid on. Like that. And now we can grid off again. Now we can play a little bit around with position. Not too much though. Like this. Kind of like that. So with the human next to it. Was it 43 or something? There we go. Yeah. Seems fine to me. That's a good height. Okay. That's good to know. Still 1%. Alright. I think it's time for to create some cracks. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it. I think maybe painting over it is to do it. And then we're going to this is going to add so much like thermal probably, but like I want to do like that these things are not so perfect anymore. So I want to do it like very subtle, you know, like I'm not going to paint too much over it. And on the other side maybe as well. So crack over there. Crack. Some little scratches over here. There we go. Not too much. We have to be careful, not too much. These pillars we can maybe like put more cracks. Not too deep though. This is a little bit more. Yeah, I think maybe we have to do it manually. Putting it on. Oh, I mean, can work like this. And once we have done that, we can paint. Don't want to go too crazy on it. But just enough that, you know, like, oh, you know, this thing has been standing here for like thousands of years, maybe. Well, not maybe thousands of years, but like hundreds of years. Like so. Let me put that on. I can see it a little bit better. Now it was a really good time to use my move controllers for this. I'm not going to lie. I think that would be would have been a little bit better for the depth of situation. I mean, I can still try to get them, but it's not working, sadly. At least not with me. It's funny, like how like all the trouble that you have done to get this shape, and then you're going to destroy it again. Right? That's like how it is. We're probably going to add graphics there, Mo. Or at least like the complexity, but I'm maybe also going to try to get what is it called? To fix a lot with painting, basically. Like to fake cracks some here and there as well with painting, just painting. We don't have to only do this. And I kind of want to make it every spot unique so that we can turn this around in the way that we want to. Okay, let me now put server snap again on. We need to... I go a little bit like this. I have to keep an eye on it. The problem is like the more you like at least like it's not going to be in creation where you have to walk inside, so it's just statics, luckily. So that's at least a good thing about everything. It's a big object that needs to be done. I basically have to do it with almost all our sculptures. Although we don't really have much of like stone sculptures besides the manor in the background. But it's in the distance anyway, so we don't really have to pay much attention to the details over there. It's not that you can like see it from up close. Which is there. That thing is destroyed. But keep in mind, it's an old, very old looking like place. there's a big chunk out of here. Don't really like it. Happens sometimes when you're doing stuff, and sometimes you don't need to do too much. Subtile cuttings is mostly just enough. The thing is, like the server snap is like cutting pretty deep. Okay, almost done. Only need to. There's some scratches here. There we go. And last but not least, the socket. Doesn't have to be yeah, let's make it smaller. Yeah, the thing is like with the server snap, like it's cutting almost halfway with the cutting. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like the only way to do it better is just like make the sculpt smaller. That's the way to do it. I will keep it like this. Well, mostly. We have the ball cracked a little bit more. Are we 1% still? That means that our painting is going to be 1% extra. At least. Maybe 2%. So this goes are probably going to be 3% in total. But I am going to leave my video. Yeah, I'm already over 1 hour mark. 1.5 hour. I think I'm going to leave it for here for now on. So in the next video, I'm probably going to paint it, and so you know a little bit of like how I do painting as well in Dreams. Although you probably already know if you've seen my sculpting videos in the past on my YouTube channel, and I'm not really sure if I'm going to do all my sculptures on YouTube from the ground up, building, showing. At least I am building it from the ground up. But I'm not sure if I'm going to show all the single sculptures that I do in this creation. Because as you can see, this one pillar, it already takes me like 1.5 hours. And it's not even done yet. We only have like the base structure. And I don't even have like the painting done and some finishing touches here and there. So it's far from finished. So now you know maybe why I will do some parts recording. If I think like, hey, this is maybe a cool part to record, then I will do that. I will definitely show you how I'm doing the painting over this. I really want to show you that how I do this. And then in the upcoming videos, I will see which parts I think it's really cool to show you how I sculpt, and or like if there's something special to sculpt, then I will show that as well in the videos. And hopefully I can finish this then all in time for before just Halloween. So for now, I'm just going to say thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed a little bit of like how I do my sculpting. And like I said, it is a little bit out of my comfort zone. This is not normally how I would sculpt in a matter, because like normally I like to have not like clean, but like still like following the grid lines and stuff like that. And now I'm just going to be a little bit more playful with the whole creation. So like as you can see, it is like not super straight anymore, and I'm still not super happy with like the whole outcome. But if we're going to paint everything, it's probably going to be looking a lot better. I do see some weird wobbly stuff here still going on, so I think I'm going to fix that later on. That's only a matter of like using some cutting here and there. But overall, I think if we're going to use like, for example, this one is cuttings there is way too deep, maybe. Like so, I don't know. I don't want to make it too obvious. Maybe we'll see. I'll see. So yeah, I think once we have like painted everything over, it's probably going to look a lot better than we have right now. But at the moment, I look a little bit weird. But don't worry, the painting will do justice, hopefully. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, don't forget to dream, everybody. And if you're liking my projects, if you're liking like my sculptures and stuff like that, you know where the following bottom is. Like, you know, the button, not the bottom, but the button. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it helps me a little bit out. You know how YouTube works. So thank you so much for watching, and as always, don't forget to dream, everybody, and see you hopefully in the next video. Bye bye.